Hello and welcome.
If you're new around here, you might be asking yourself, what is Sneakbike?
Well, we won't dig into the lore of the name right now. We're always happy to tell you more about who we are and what we do.
Our main goal is to build a community through retro gaming.
And we believe in creating a safe space where we lift each other up along the way.
We're all about learning new things.
Stepping outside of our comfort zones.
And serving up some friendly, casual competition.
Whoever you are, whatever your background, we'd love to hang and play some games together.
So come on by, sign up for a race or cheer on our racers, and show us what you've got.
Stay sneaky, friends.
Hello. What is going on, Sneak Squad and Sidekicks? We hope that you are all living your best lives and ready for some sneaky fun today. My name is Dexter Chaco, and alongside me here we have my good buddy Old King Cake. We're your commentators for today, ready to deliver both the sneak and the bike. If this is your first time joining us, and justifiably you might be wondering, what is Sneak Bike? We'll give you the quick rundown. Our 4 racers today will race 2 retro games from a bygone era, and they are not aware of the games ahead of time, hence the hashtag sneak. The first one to complete the given objectives in these games is our number 1 good friend for the day. Most things we do, from scoring to mercy kills, you'll notice, is arbitrary, but the fun is genuine. Our main goal here is to build community through retro gaming, and we couldn't do that without each and every one of you, so thank you so much for joining us today. On that note, let's go ahead and have Old King Cake introduce our racers. Old King Cake, take it away.
Dex, that was like the most beautiful intro I think I've ever heard. What is up, Sneak Bikes and Sidekicks? Welcome to today's race. I'm here to let you know a bit about our little racing friends, all right? So, going from the logical order, the Queen's order of top left to bottom right, first we have Ghost MF Lion, who is a streamer over at twitch.tv/GhostMFLion. Has raced with us many times before, and their favorite color is light blue/teal, which I think is the same color, but I'm not here to judge. We have Laridian, who is also a streamer, has raced but once before, and said that his favorite color is a very low-key lilac, so I chose French lilac because I Googled it. Then we have Dr. Fuzzy Boots, a streamer as well, at twitch.tv/Dr. Fuzzy Boots, has raced before, and their favorite color is blue, yellow. And finally, but not leastly, we have my boy with as many eyes as you'd like to ascribe to that name, twitch.tv/myboy with 4 eyes, if you're looking for it, has raced before and said that their favorite color is a royal purple. Not only are racers, but also today we have plenty of people to thank. We have Jen the Human as our lovely and wonderful producer. Of course, we have on social media Bears and Beats helping us out, and a lovely thank you to all of our mods and sneak friends in the chat. And with that, all the thank yous going out to all the people who keep our sneaky wheels a-rolling here on Sneak Bike. I believe it's time to get this Sneak Bike rolling.
Sweet. All right, racers, I am going to count down, and when you hear me say go, feel free to let it rip. So here we go. Oh, not that time though. That was a trick. You're paying attention. This is good. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to move them over to racers, and I'll be right back.
All right, we're getting the game started. Ladies and germs, we are playing Faceball 2000 for the SNES, for the Super SNES. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen this lovely game before, but really we're in for a treat today.
So this game, when I was younger and renting video games, a thing that we used to do in the ancient times,
Right.
I was always super jazzed on this game from the box art. And I remember renting it at least 3 times forgetting every time what the game actually was when I would play it. I got so jacked about the game. Like, it looked cool. Smiley faces, like shooting. I don't know. I was like, maybe this could be the next like weird comedy Doom or something. But this is pretty much the game. This is it right here. You're seeing it.
I love that a young Dex in an alternate universe is the greatest Baseball 2000 player of all time by proxy of being the only person who has ever played Baseball 2000 before.
My family, I think my family, I know that my mom and I played it when I rented it because my mom was jazzed about like, you know, me getting excited for like non-violent games. She was very anti-violence growing up. And this is, while this is a shooting game, it definitely toes the line.
Yeah, it's a very smiley kind of situation we got going on here.
Yeah, it's hard to feel too bad about what's going on. You kind of get the vibe that like everyone's having a good time. I don't know, the faces seem all right.
It seems very much like it's weird because on the surface it plays kind of like almost like a tank game, like an old like Atari tank game.
Yes.
And then but instead of shooting like other tanks or soldiers or demons or whatever else we would shoot back in those days, we're shooting like proto emojis.
Right, dude, it's true. Gosh, you know, maybe this is, I don't know, any devs out there in the chat, maybe this is exactly the time. I mean, this was pre-emoji. Imagine the Faceball that you could make with emojis. Right?
Baseball 2021 would hit different. It would get something crazy.
True. You could have different emojis with different stats, like cowboy emoji. You would have, I don't know, maybe dual wield.
And then you get to put in a special code, or if you like buy the day one DLC, which would most likely be what it'd be, you can play as the poop emoji.
There we go. Voiced by Patrick Stewart.
$1 million idea.
Yeah.
There.
Did you ever watch the Emoji Movie, by the way? I did.
I want you to know that I do have self-respect, and therefore I did not.
Hey, I have self-respect, and it was an absolute nightmare, but it is an absolute, just jaw-dropping experience that sometimes people are willing to put millions of dollars into stuff like that. So
I'm already cynical enough about the film industry. I saw that trailer and I was like, that right there. That right there. You know the car roof slapping meme?
Yes.
I was like, this right here, this could fit so much money to burn. Ooh, we're seeing some deaths. Did you see that death screen where it says, I shoot 1 and 2, say have a nice day? This is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's like if they made the to-go plastic bags that you get for takeout that say "Have a nice day." It's like if they made that its own video game. This is the product. Probably the same amount of
your
funding.
Local Chinese food place.
Yeah. Well, Chinese food is delicious. This game, I don't know if I could say the same thing. You know, so Faceball 2000, we have some awesome notes, by the way, that Cassie, who suggested these games, wrote up for us. And there are some cool facts that are just begging to be gone through, such as this game was originally called MIDI Maze, and it was for the Atari ST. And it was the first game to ever introduce multiplayer deathmatch combat to the world of gaming. And apparently... So, okay, again, this was originally an Atari game, right?
Holy hell.
The original version supported up to 16 players at once by daisy chaining MIDI audio cables, which is so wild. Like, literally, this, like, Atari 16-player local co-op using audio cables. I mean, that's... my mind is a little bit blown for sure.
Can you imagine getting all the homies together and being like, lads, I just went to Blockbuster. I've got this brand new game. Come over. I just bought so many MIDI cables from Radio Shack. And we're gonna drink RC Cola all night. Yes. And play frickin' Faceball.
I'm in.
That's actually the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was like the Halo LAN parties of the Atari era, I guess.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, when I was a kid, we all got together in a basement and played Halo 2, and instead we could have been playing Faceball.
Dude, I'm pretty sure like my 12th birthday party was a Halo LAN party, and it was magic. You just can't top it.
Completely honestly, the only reason I learned how to ride a bike was so I could bike down to my local video game renting store and get Halo 2, because we would rotate who would rent Halo 2 for the lads.
Oh, sure.
So it'd be like 1 week it's this guy, 1 week it's this guy, and then it's my week. And walking there would take so long, I had to learn how to bike, so it wouldn't be super inconvenient.
So Mel is reminding us that, yeah, it is worth noting that for the runners, we gave them the ability to save state at the beginning of each level after level 5. And the challenge is to finish zone 8. So there are 8 levels that the racers are trying to get through, and after level 5 the racers can save state.
Right.
Which is, yeah, so rules wise, there are at least 10 enemies that you got to defeat, and then once you defeat the 10 enemies, you try and find the exit. And after level 5, apparently, I didn't make it this far in my brief time with it before we streamed this, but apparently after level 5, this game gets pretty nightmarish. So, yeah, if the racers can just push to level 5, that's going to be a huge little check mark for them to push them into the last bit of the race.
And so we did see our first game over on the side of Dr. Fuzzy Boots, as we see my boy hit zone 2. So we've seen zone 2, level 6 out of my boy, and I'm interested to see what oh my god, it's beautiful.
the new level, Desert Zone?
The new level is phenomenal. Oh my goodness gracious.
Desert Zone.
You know, my favorite part about this game, right, is that the more I'm learning about it, the more respect I have for it, right? The first time that when we got sent this game, the first time I turned it on, I was like, what is this absolute chicanery that is being put in front of me? I am worried and scared for my life. But then the more I played it, the more I learned about it. When it came, that MIDI chain thing blew my mind. I'm looking at these skyboxes and I'm like, there's so much love and care in this incredibly bizarre video game.
Totally. Well, and it's yeah, knowing the backstory of it a little bit too is that it's essentially a redux from Atari that was like a weird tech project. Yeah, it is like maybe the devs were pretty excited to have access to better graphics, a better engine, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's cute. And we were seeing, sorry, while I'm talking, there's 2 game overs that just went down.
Oh.
Gremlin saying have a nice day to Ghost and Luridian.
It's the strangest death screen I think I've ever seen. I think that's the only part about this that's, other than the large yellow smiley faces, I think this is one of the most unsettling games I've ever watched. Especially because for a little bit of inside baseball, a little bit behind the curtain for you guys watching, we don't actually get the sound of the games as we're commentating. So it's just silent and we're watching smiley faces hover around, unblinking, unflinching. Yeah. It is slightly upsetting.
It's an interesting, this game is interesting conceptually too, because I guess we're seeing a little bit nice. Okay, my boy is entering level 7. Holy
my
crap.
boy is cruising through this. That's insane.
I'm double taken. Wait. Oh my god.
You got 1,000 points.
I didn't understand.
I've never seen someone so cracked at a video game in my life.
I know that my boy made it to Desert Zone. I didn't realize how far ahead Desert Zone was from the city, how far away they had traveled. Holy Christ.
My boy hopped in his DeLorean, souped up, and has been cruising ever since.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, jeez. I was just gonna say, just to finish the thought, that it's interesting, kind of how tight the corridors are for a game like this. All the enemies are so big and all the bullets are so big.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of agency that you have, it feels like. to like avoid damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it feels very much like I don't know if this game exists actually, but like I think in my mind's eye there's a game called like Tank 3D or something like that for the Atari that I remember playing a lot when I was a kid. And this is hitting me. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like this is hitting me right in that little solar plexus.
Totally. Yep.
Like, yes, this game, like, I'm sitting here and we're doing commentary decks, and I want you to know that all I'm sitting here and going, like, I just want to play decks in a death match. I want to play Faceball 2000 with my friend Dex without having to link a bunch of daisy chains.
You know, there's a game that this reminds me of too that's pretty similar. There was I think it was on Wii Sports Resort. There was a little toy tank game. There was a toy tank mini game on maybe it was Wii Sports.
I think it was Wii Play.
Oh, you're right. You're probably right. It's probably Wii Play. Yeah. There was. I just remember it being really cute and being like, these games are so dumb, but I like this game a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
That Wii Play, I think, is so underrated. It has so many weird. Do you remember the cow mini game where you had to like?
Oh my!
Like shake the Wiimote or something. And
why
as we're talking, my boy is at stage 8.
This is crazy, my boy. Please, I've only taken a few steps down memory lane. gonna finish this run real quick.
We're only just starting to become good friends. And speaking of becoming good friends, this is the only time it seems I'm gonna have to get a good plug in. So if you're in the chat right now and you're saying, what is Sneakbike, and you maybe want to find out more, you can hit that ! Discord and you can hop in this lovely little sneaky community. If you want to race in the future, if it looks like these guys are having a fun time, which I guarantee you they are, or if you're listening to our voice and you're like, man, these guys are just being a bunch of chuckleheads and I want to try that as well.
Yes.
You can sign up for commentary. We've got different communities for if you're into coding, retro gaming, all different kinds of things. So hit that ! Discord, join on in, and join our little lovely sneak band.
Nicely done. Yeah, get in here, y'all. If there's a spot for anything, you know, depending on what you want to do. And I don't know. I just think that Sneakbike is just such a vibe. Like, how else would you? Like, there's got to be some sort of element of competition to get you to actually invest in this kind of experience. Because like, I guarantee you that if I just was like, you know, I'm gonna boot up Faceball 2000 and just give it a try. If I were doing that on my own, I probably wouldn't make it to level 8. And speaking of level 8,
oh my god, I just won the race.
My boy.
Oh my god.
What the heckaroo?
Oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yo, claps in the chat for my boy, because
Can I get some hypers, PogChamps, claps, ayayas, some Sneakbike emojis as well if you got those? That's banana sandwich.
Nicely done, my boy, taking the #1 good friend golden cartridge.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
I love so much. I love the art assets that I believe are done by Kai. If I'm not mistaken, the art assets. And chat, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Our good friend Kai Madden, I believe so.
Yes. So congratulations to my boy. That was literally just looked like a stroll through the desert.
Yeah, no trouble at all. Like literally Sonic the Hedgehog straight through the whole game. I've never seen such impressive video game skill.
Sheesh. Yeah, that was good. And now we see Ghost Lion has also made their way to the desert as well. So we have Ghost Lion now in the lead for second, and Luridian and Fuzzy Boots not far behind. So
we are seeing, unfortunately, we did see Fuzzy Boots and Luridian take their own deaths there, while Ghost Monday to Friday Lion is starting to seem to get the hang of this. He's getting a few of those power-ups. He's starting to cruise much like our friend my boy previously.
Totally. One of the funnest facts that I think that Cassie dug up for us is that there are 0 runs of this game on speedrun.com. So if you wanted to speedrun this game, you could have a world record. You could be a world record
today.
Yeah, you could do it today. Call today.
I'm wondering. Call 1-800-SNEAKBIKE right now to get the world record in Faceball 2000. How many levels do you think is in Faceball 2000? Without any questions, How many levels do you think is in this game?
Yeah, I can't answer because I have the answer in front of me. So this is just for chat. Chat, how many levels do you think are in Faceball 2000?
I hope it's like 9. Like I hope we had to beat stage 8, and any of our racers today could get world records.
I mean, let's take our last game that we played, for instance, Load Runner. That game had, what, 150 levels? Which probably is only because they actually used child labor to develop that game. But
They did, yeah. Very true. Load Runner is against the Geneva Convention as well.
It's true. The answer is 30. There are 30 levels of smile-packed, smile-inducing action in this game. I'd be so curious to see what the final. You know how like a lot of retro games, they start out really nice, and then by the end, it's always like aliens or like really twisted. Like, I don't know. Have you ever noticed that with a lot of retro games? Like, you'll start out like in a city or something like that, and like maybe I don't know. You might be like a chill protagonist just trying to like save someone from getting kidnapped or something.
Yeah, all the protagonists back in the day were notably chill.
Yeah, of course.
All bad enough dudes to save the president.
Right. But then by the end, like you're like jumping onto like an alien spaceship, and there's like a bunch of blood and like weird stuff. I want to know if that's the case with this game. What's the last level of Faceball 2000 like? Because we've seen city and desert. That's it.
You get to the last zone, and the skybox is just like on fire.
Yeah.
The smileys are just like little floating beholders from Dungeons and Dragons. Like
Apocalypse. Yeah.
It's just, and like the music from Doom just starts blaring in the background, like the new Doom.
He's so good.
The last level it sounds like we're getting confirmation from the person who picked the game. The last level is indeed Heck on Mars.
Oh my gosh.
So I want it to be known that if anyone in this community wants to stream themselves getting the world record for this video game, I will personally give you 20 Canadian dollars.
That's basically $2,000 USD.
That is true. That is actually factual. Don't Google it.
All I know is that when I was a kid and I was at the book fairs, I would look at the books and I would note that the books were always more expensive in Canada because they have the Canadian price and the US price on barcodes. And I just remember being young and looking at that and being like, dude, that's really messed up, man. Like, how can they do that to Canadians? It's the same book.
They're just mean, dude. It's just rough. You'd go to the Scholastic Book Fair and you'd look at the back of your Goosebumps book, and you'd go to your mom and you'd be like, Mom, it's only $10. Because they'd have all the stickers of like, it's only $10. And then you'd go to your mom and be like, look at Goosebumps. And Mom would be like, oh, this is $15. There's literally no way I'm buying you like a 20-page book for $15 back. And be like, oh man, Canadian.
And now as an adult, I'm like, but y'all have healthcare, and that, I'll pay that extra for that Goosebumps book 1,000 times over now.
Healthcare and no vaccines.
Oh no! Oh no!
Very cool, very fun. We love it. Hey, the Great White North feels Canada, man. Anyway, our home and native land.
So all right, it looks like Dr. Fuzzy Boots is. I don't know if this is. Oh my gosh! Wait. I can't tell if they just got to level 5, but Fuzzy Boots and Luridian are both on level 5 now, which means that they can use save states.
Neck and neck.
Yeah.
And Ghost Mother Father Lion is getting to level 8.
Oof.
In the death knell of the competition.
Dude, the game overs in this game are so unceremonious.
Yeah, they're literally just like, boom, game over.
That's it. Wait, is that a kill cam that's going on with Is Ghost Lion? That it looked like he got a replay of. Wait, no, they're just getting killed over and over from the spawn.
Oh my god.
Brutal. Surrounded by turkeys. Instant death. I think turkeys and gremlins, those are the main enemies in Desertland, I guess.
My boy did make this look so easy that we were watching Ghost and I was thinking the same thing, like, oh, he's just like replaying the same. Did he mess up his save state? But no, he was just getting stuffed.
Yeah.
And
by turkeys.
Rough. He was getting stuffed by turkeys.
Thanksgiving revenge. Watch out.
That was actually the original name for this game. Fun fact was Thanksgiving Revenge. I too enjoy a fine gremlin on Thanksgiving Day.
A classic. And so with that, looks like everybody is now on Desert, Luridian and Fuzzy Boots as well.
Yes.
We get to see that beautiful mountain skybox and that wonderful desert gradient on the floor.
It is just it is just a gradient, eh? Like I actually did notice that too. That is the most like Microsoft Paint looking.
I know, I love it. And
that's phenomenal.
Bears mentioned this earlier, but it's like straight up just a living, breathing version of the old like Windows 95 maze screensavers.
Oh my god. Did you ever when you were a kid, the first time you saw that maze, how long did you sit there and watch it? Because I'll be honest, I sat for like a long time.
Me too. Oh, me too.
I just chilled like it was TV. I was like, let's get to the end, lads.
Well, and I was so like gamer pilled already as a kid that like I had all these like scenarios in my head that like, you know, eventually the screensaver was going to reveal like some sort of final boss, or like there was going to be like branching paths or something. Like it didn't even strike me that I was just watching a loop like over and over,
right?
You know?
And you could put your own, if I remember correctly, you could put your own pictures on the wall of the maze.
You absolutely could.
I would put a picture of my brother's face because me and him didn't get along at the time. So I took this really goofy picture and put it as the walls of my maze.
It's amazing.
So if you went through, it was just an unending loop of this very weird face. And I remember reading, I think it must have been like a forum or something back in the day, but I remember reading that if you sat there for long enough, like I think it was like the boss from Doom or from Diablo or something would show up at the end.
Yeah.
And it was like a little hidden Easter, a little sneaky Easter egg. And I would sit there for like an hour just watching this maze.
Dude, that was such a wild aspect of our experience growing up and alongside these retro games, is that like pre-internet being normalized and available, like gossip and rumors, you just believed them, you know, like I like there was all sorts of stuff, especially in video games, that I just totally took hook, line, and sinker. Like, yeah, someone told you, oh, there's a final boss of the Windows screensaver, and you're like, okay,
yeah, for sure.
I have no way to fact check this, so
Pierce Brosnan is in Melee, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone told me on the playground that if you unplug your controllers, plug them back in, and your own Nintendo, then you can play as Master Hand. And you just ran with that.
Yes, dude, yes. God. I think that nice complete Luridian.
Luridian is now also actually perfectly caught up to Ghost
Mother Father Lion, yeah.
Father Lion. And is experiencing the same joys that both Ghost and my boy have had to deal with in the running away immediately at spawn to not die.
Yeah, that's mean, especially in a game that only has 30 levels to start to just like level 7 at this point, or level 8, just to have you start in an immediate death scenario is I can't imagine what the later levels of this game are like.
That was how it was, though, you know? Like, even if you play a game like Ninja Gaiden, or even like, because some people will look at retro games and they'll look at the big ones and be like, oh, like those are the good ones, and these like little hidden gem ones are like, oh, those sucked, like no one played them, no one bought them. But like they all had a very similar difficulty curve. Like even playing like Contra or Ninja Gaiden or any of those, it's like you get to like level 2 or 3 and they're like, all right, buckle in. Like,
yeah, totally.
Strap in, buckaroo, we're going on a ride.
Totally. And I think that this is something that I wind up like touching on every time that I play these retro games, because like, you know, the at the time the play was, from a developer standpoint, like difficulty was kind of equated with replayability, you know,
right.
like if a game took you longer to finish, that was desirable because nobody wanted to pay like $60 for a game that they just went home and were able to beat like no problem. And so the way that developers would address this a lot was to make the game really hard. And so like that's how we got Lion King for like SNES and stuff, which was literally developed so that it would not be completable in like one rental period.
Right.
you know, so like, yeah, a lot of these games, it's just like, yeah, dude, like if you want to beat it, you know,
you got to be you have to be yourself a bad enough dude to save the president.
It's true. That's true. And you need to have the patience of a saint.
It's true RP back in the day. There was no, you had to be in the game, man.
I know. And there are so many games that I just gave up on in this
Absolutely.
time. So many games I just gave up on.
I didn't beat a game until I was like a grown ass man.
For sure.
It's a very close race though. Now that we're kind of settling into the end game, we have Ghost and Loridian both at level 8. I believe Fuzzy Boots is in level 7, so it's anyone's game at this point. This
true.
could be the great equalizer, other than my boy who did cruise through this thing.
What I do really like about this format of allowing save states too is that like you compress the race to essentially like you can compress the race to like one level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like if there were no save states, every game over would be right back to the beginning, and that would be a huge time loss and be like a very imbalanced kind of, you know, it would you could have a much better idea of like who's gonna win because there's just a way bigger gap. But this, like once everybody gets to the final level and they all have a save state and they can all just replay it, like everyone's pretty close. And so now the battle for second is really tight, which I think is great.
Yeah, and we get to see there's a very cool thing where you're seeing kind of the people, the players figure it out in real time, right? Like you're watching them come up with new strategies, you're watching them come up with it, and it's for these like specific levels. So like you're seeing Ghost is starting to try and do a kind of corner sneak thing where he's waiting and trying to kind of cheese the hitboxes, it looks like. Loridian is going just straight butts to the wall trying to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And Fuzzy Boots is just trying to snipe. So it's very interesting. We're seeing very different approaches.
Totally. And it's cool because there's no, you know, obviously we're remote and like everyone's just playing on their own screens. So you can't like screen peek. You don't really have an ability to like check anybody else's progress. So all these players are just developing their own strategies like completely independently, which is also really cool. Because in some of the mystery races that I used to run, they were in person, and so like screen peeking was like part of the meta. Like if you saw that somebody had a route or figured something out, you could actually see it in front of you. These racers can't. So that's actually pretty cool.
So we're seeing Fuzzy get to level 8, and there's another actually interesting thing I want to point out is that Ghost and Fuzzy, both of their save states are at 1 life. So if they take a death, then they die, they go straight to the game over screen, which is a lot of extra time. Whereas Loridian actually got their save state, luckily, with 2 lives going to level 8, which means that if they die, they don't have to immediately reload, they can just keep going.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, so yeah, you kind of have this, when you only have 1 life, the pressure is on to, you essentially have to figure out how to perfectly do the level.
Right.
And there's a question.
Seeing them figure it out.
Oh, sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
Redbeard3546 in chat says, how do you finish a level? And the answer is you have to kill enough. I don't even know if we're killing. Banishing. Befriending.
Sending friend dots into these turkeys' faces.
Yes.
Giving them a nice day.
You respectfully and in friendship eliminate 10 of the enemies at least, and then an exit will open up and you have to find your way to the exit. So yeah.
Oh, my boy makes a good point. It's just, oh my god, Dex, I just figured this out. I just cracked this game wide open, cracked it like a clam on spring break.
Let me have
Baseball 2000 is just a game of tag in the desert.
Whoa.
They're doing tags on each other. That's why everyone's happy, having a good time. This is actually the most family-friendly shooter I think I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, if my games of tag were like this, trust me, as a heavy-set asthmatic kid, this would be the tag that I would have the best chance at, because I hated tag growing up. And if it was like this, I'd be top tier. I'd be platinum.
Absolutely.
ELO.
It'd be like dodgeball tag. Oh, why didn't we figure that out as kids? Oh, that would have. It's because we all would have cheated. The answer is because everyone would have cheated, but it would have banged. If there could have been like a governing body, Oh, can you? Okay, we're so off topic. Can you imagine if like ESPN 8 the Ocho or something like that held like Manhunt with dodgeballs? Like they just put a bunch of athletes in a field
Ooh.
with dodgeballs, and you have to
Yes.
hit the guy to tag him out. Oh,
Yes.
that would bang so hard.
That'd be hardcore. That'd be hardcore.
That would be the coolest thing ever.
Gosh, and I would love to see the characters that would do something like that too.
Oh, sign me up. Sign me up so fast.
I have friends that did adult competitive dodgeball league at the gym, and that looked terrifying. it looked so scary. I would watch their videos on Instagram, and I was just like, I do not want to get hit by a single ball from any of these dudes, man. It looks like they're leaving it all on the table in this game.
That must be, you know what? Do you ever have in gym class the class versus the gym teacher in dodgeball? Did that ever happen in your school?
Yes, and
And
our
the teacher would just
yes, dude. Mr. Wortman was his name, and
Shout
he
out.
was ex-military.
Oh my god.
And he loved doing that, being like, oh, students versus me. And he literally made, I'm not exaggerating, if he hit you with the ball, there's like a 50% chance that he would inflict the cry status on you. Like you would have their high chance of cry.
He has a percent chance to inflict a cry on it.
It was brutal, dude. I remember straight up. I remember he hit a girl. We were in middle school. He hit a girl in the face and she started crying, and he was literally like, "Grow up." I was like, "Oh my god, we are under fascist dodgeball rule right now." Like brutality.
He's out there to concuss some kids, man. It is the late 90s, early thousands. He is there to concuss some children. Oh god, did you have a school nurse at your school?
Depending on the school, because I went to a really small school, but yeah, for the most part, yes. Yeah, we
Okay,
always had a nurse. Did you?
No, we didn't. So if you
wow.
if you got binked in the head a little too hard, like it was the most like early, like that, like late 90s, early thousands thing known to man, where the teacher would literally be like, all right, looks like you hit your head a little hard. They kind of like look at it, not really know what they're doing, and be like, well, you can either sit out or you can go to the office. And if you went to the office, everyone would make fun of you. So you had to just sit out, and almost definitely you had a concussion. So you're just like chilling on the bench, no ice pack, no water, just like wanting to play dodgeball.
Tough
And you're like
culture.
vision's all blurry. Oh, it was awesome.
That is horrible. So okay, we got a little tip from Cassie that I might relay to the runners to help them out a little bit. And the tip is you can only have a maximum of 2 to 3 shots on the screen. So doing rapid fire erases the last ball that you shot. So technically, depending on where you are, if you're trying to snipe, you effectively only have a limited range, because if you try and put too many balls on the screen at once, then the last ball that you shot is actually going to disappear.
That's actually huge.
Yeah, so why don't you hold it down for a second? I am going to pop into the Eraser chat and just let them know about this tip and see if it helps.
You already know I got this. All right, chat, what's up? You're chilling with Uncle Old King Cake. I'm Solo Dolo. And hey, if you're having a good time, not only do I want you to go and hit that exclamation point Discord, go and join the community, sign up for a race, sign up for comms. I want you to hit exclamation point runners. I want you to follow all of our lovely competitors today who are giving it their all to have a good time with us, with our good friends here on a Saturday afternoon. I want you to go and follow all of their streams. They're a bunch of lovely individuals, right? If you're feeling a little fun, if you're feeling a little fresh, a little frisky, you can also follow your commentators, specifically Dex. His stream is way better than mine, okay? I want that to be very clear. But if you want to follow mine, it's all right too. I am very demanding today. All I'm here to do is make demands out of the people in chat, but they're all fun, friendly demands here on a lovely Saturday afternoon. And we are seeing the racers figure it out. So I think Dex is back from giving that little tipperoo, and I think we're gonna see if it's gonna impact the racers' run-ins.
Yeah, I went in there, I dropped the knowledge bomb, I popped out, and we'll see how it goes. Because yeah, it's a hard thing to say. Oh wow, I think we actually are seeing it. I just saw Lion. Yeah, look at Lion. Lion's
Oh
firing
my
2
God.
shots at a time, and
He's
don't get
cracked. He's
Oh!
absolutely cracked.
dialed in.
He is
Oh
in
my
the
God.
zone.
This
He
is
is
amazing.
he is gamer leaned in. His back hurts, and he is just trying to beat this game.
This is, I mean, that is a big deal though, because we've seen, especially as Dr. Fuzzy Boots has been trying to take a distance approach, and if you've been trying to do that and you have been erasing your last shot, that actually is extremely deceptive and hasn't been working. So
Yeah.
uh,
I can't imagine how tilted these players must have been, just sitting there shooting shots, and then someone comes in and goes like, "Hey, by the way, shooting too many shots is you're not gonna hit anything. BTW. Good luck, have fun," and then leaving.
advice for Faceball 2000 and advice for dating, y'all. Take it in. All right, be careful with the shots that you shoot. Too many at one time, you'll overextend yourself and erase the last one that you sent out. So.
Wow, that has implications for your dating life. I will say the verb erase is a heavy verb.
Yeah. Yeah, don't listen to me. Listen.
Always listen. I want everyone to go right now. I want you to, hey, can I tell you what I am demanding today? I want you to go to your crush and I want you to shoot your shot today. There's
Wow.
never been a better time. And I want you to know that I, Old King Cake, support you in this as long as you're not weird about it. Don't be weird about it.
That's a really big, yeah, that's
Be
probably
cool,
the.
be respectful, but go do it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell them Old King Cake sent you. And when they go, "Who's that?" you go, "Let me tell you."
Yeah. Well, why don't you open
Well.
up your browser and head on down to twitch.tv/oldkingcake. Bringing you the best variety, Melee, White Claw, Rocket League streams on twitch.tv. Dude, I had a great time, by the way.
Oh
That
my
was,
God, thank you so much.
Yeah, that was great. Chat,
I
go
could
follow.
not see by the end of that stream. No one go watch that VOD. I don't know if that VOD's still up. We played a lot of copyrighted music, but goodness gracious, I have no idea what happened last. Oh God. All right, I think our racers are starting to figure it out. Personally, I am watching I'm watching Ghost really start to figure it out. We are getting a little pixie voice in our ear telling us that after the next person to finish, we will mercy kill the other two just for the sake of lovely, lovely brevity, because we love nothing more here than brevity in our sneak bike races. Oh, were you a screen peeker? Let me ask you this: when you were playing Halo or GoldenEye, were you a screen peeker? Because that's a punishable offense where I'm from.
Yeah, no, I was a reactive screen peeker where I would never, but I was so attuned that, like, because I mean, again, we were some of us were like raised on these video games, like,
Right.
The peripheral vision attunement, like, I could tell when people were screen peeking, and so, like, if the dam broke, I was like, no way am I not going to, you know what I mean? But
yeah, the fourth or fifth time you get sniped in the exact same way from the exact same spot, you're like, all right.
Yeah. I
Not
will fully admit to taking the gloves off, like, only when I've been slapped, you know. But yeah, for the most part, no. It's no, you know, it's no honor in screen peeking.
I remember back in the day, there was like a meta to screen peeking, because it was like, you're not allowed to, if you screen peek, that's messed up. Like, you're not, like, you're out the next round. We don't want to play with you. No one likes a screen peeker. But everyone did it. So everyone had to figure out how they can screen peek without getting caught. So there was like a looking at the controller meta. There's like, you know, people wearing blinders meta. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And as a kid with the worst peripheral vision known to man, it was awful. Oh my God. And Liridian.
Oh, wow.
As we're talking, Liridian
Hits the exit, baby. Liridian. Wow,
stole it
wow.
right from under Ghost's nose, right from under his snoot.
Wow. Claps in chat, y'all. Claps in
Like
chat.
a thief in the night. So let's get some claps, some hype, some ayayas. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my God. Made an absolute run for it.
All right, I will be right back. I'm going to let the racers know. And yep, I will. I'll be back.
So, if you're watching at home, that was our first race of the day. Stay tuned. We are going to be playing a second game today. So, if you were having a good time, it will continue. The good times will roll on. Laissez-les bon temps rouler, something along those lines. I'm Canadian. I speak French. Go drink some water. Go have a good time. And remember that we are going to be playing a second game here at Sneakbike today with our lovely racers. They'll have another chance to become our number one good friend. Of course, everyone here is a great friend of ours. Hope you enjoyed Faceball 2000. Again, now's a great time. If you're sitting in chat, you got nothing better to do. The race isn't happening. You got nothing to focus on. You can hit ! Discord. You can join the community, have a great time, sign up for the next race, and you can follow the channel, hit the bell, make sure you always know when we're doing our races. We are actually doing a tournament as well, which is a very fun time right now. And if you're so inclined, if you got that Twitch Prime, steal the money from Jeff Bezos and give it here to Sneakbike with a Twitch Prime subscription to get the cool emotes and all of our fun furry characters. And with that, I believe we're going to be taking a quick intermission, a quick intermission and a half. Dex, I believe you are back.
Hey, yep, I'm back. I let the racers know, and yes, you're correct. We are going to be taking a little break ski.
You're take a little break ski.
Mm.
So hold tight, go to the bathroom, get some water, and be right back for the next race. All right, welcome back. Oh God, what a good intermission! Is everyone feeling cozy? Everyone's got a nice, either got some water, went to the potty. We're all back here to be good sneaky friends once again. To reintroduce ourselves, we are your commentators for this race. It is Old King Cake, and of course, my best friend in the world, Dexter Chaco.
Wow, it's official.
Boom.
We're best friends.
Dang right.
How's it going?
You know what? I want to say I'm having an absolute ball and a half. I am having just a lovely time, and I hope you are too.
I'm having a great time, to be honest. That was like a big closing of a nostalgia loop for me in regards to Faceball. That's the most I've seen of it played since I rented it as a kid, so that was very cathartic. Nice job to the racers. That was sweet. That level 8 action down to the wire.
It was, and I love when a Sneakbike race goes right down to the wire. Literally anyone could have won that.
So, the next game that we have now is called Fire and Ice. It's the prequel to the NES game Solomon's Key, and it's the story of an ice fairy named Dana who has to extinguish flames sent to Cool Mint Island by the evil wizard Drew Idol, and then ultimately face off against Drew Idol himself.
Oh my God.
The challenge for today is to finish stage 310. And the racers got a hint, which is extinguish all the flames on the screen by either pushing or dropping ice onto them. So looks like the game is living up to its title. I am going to save everything else for commentary. Racers, I hope that you're feeling good. I hope that you're feeling ready. I'm going to give you a countdown and we're going to get to it. So, racers, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, y'all. Get to it. And so finish stage 310.
So I'm wondering, here's something crazy that I've immediately noticed is that our main character is definitely Link. There's definitely the tree from Kirby on the background, the star from Mario. This was made by Tecmo, which is one of my favorite video game companies. There's so much happening. There's also definitely the volcano from Legend of Zelda in the background there.
Totally. Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching a Newgrounds game.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, I feel. Okay, first of all, I just want to bring attention to the frames of animation in this game, which it feels like, look at the jumping animation.
Yeah. You're right.
There are a lot of frames of animation for a NES game. This is like a very gorgeous game in that regard.
That's a good thing to point out. I actually don't think I would have noticed until way later. So shout outs to you for pointing it out. This is actually beautiful.
Yeah, it's super cute. And I think that, this became more and more of a thing as console and development culture went on. But I'd be curious to know at what point of the NES's life this game came out on, because the longer that a console exists, the better developers got at developing for that console and optimizing. So yeah, this just feels like a late stage NES game just because the animation is so fluid.
Yeah, I honestly, if someone went to me and they said, "Old King Cake, you magnificent stallion, I have a new game for you. It's called Fire and Ice." I would look at this and I would be like, oh, this must be a brand new game. Like this must be a game that's on like Steam, or like someone kickstarted it. It's like one of those cool, shout out to retro games style games, that come out now. Because this is beautiful.
Totally.
It's
totally
crazy.
Yeah, and
I'm
very
having a connection
simple.
over here.
Yeah, and I think it's also really kind of it's cute because it feels like this game is also drawing on a lot of inspiration, obviously, from other games. Like the overworld looks very like Super Mario Brothers 3.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly looks like the Mario star in the bottom right of the overworld. It looks like the Wispy Woods tree from Kirby in the top right. Like, looks like there's a lot of love lettering being written. And on the game itself is kind of like a chill puzzler. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it feels very much, like I said, it feels very much like one of those like old like a Newgrounds or Armor Games style game where you would like, you'd log in on the school computer when you're not supposed to, and you would be like, go to coolmathgames.com, and everyone in the library would try and figure out how to beat this game. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's definitely just built around one very straightforward mechanic for now, at least what we can see. I'd be curious to see how it iterates, especially because the challenge is to beat stage 310. So this is world 1. So there are still 2 more worlds that or 2 more like I don't know how you divide them, but like 2 more sets of stages after this one.
Yeah, 2 more puzzles.
Yeah. So right now it's pretty straightforward. It looks like they're kind of tutorializing you a little bit on just how to extinguish that fire with your ice. Looks like everybody is on 1-7 right now. Yeah, everybody's on the same level.
Oh my god.
This is sweet.
Neck and neck and neck and neck. I am so, and I want to say too that it's really interesting. Again, I'm actually in love with this game right now. I can't stop gushing about it. It's there's so many different puzzles, even in our notes here, which again was provided to us by the lovely Cassivania, who picked the games today. In the notes, it says that there's multiple solutions to every puzzle, and I wish I could like just talk to the person who made this game and be like, what got you here? You know what I mean? Like, what were all the decisions that got made into this? Because there's so much happening in this game as soon as you boot it up.
Totally. I also think that it's a sign of, and listen, I'm far from an expert or an authority on this matter, but as a gamer, I guess as a consumer, and a light dev, like I appreciate a puzzle game that gives you more than one option for a puzzle solution, because that feels like you're moving from watching somebody jump through a hoop in a very specific way to giving them tools to solve something in their own way, which I think is really empowering from a gamer perspective, when you have some agency in how you approach a puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best puzzle games are the ones where you have to sit there and you can. I think the best kind of puzzle games are games that can't be ruined by Twitch chat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
I hear what you're saying.
As we're seeing our racers again, it's an incredibly close race.
Yeah.
I think most of us here are. I think actually maybe we're right split down the middle between who's at 1-7 and who's at 1-8 or 1-9 actually, as my boy and Luridian are both at 1-9.
Luridian actually had a really, really clever solution for this puzzle that left only one flame, which is really cool. They detached so they covered the whole top area in one layer of ice, and then they broke the connection, and so I don't know if they're trying to recreate it. It looks like Luridian's trying to do. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so interesting.
I liked that a lot.
Nice. And my boy actually finds it out. My boy finds the solution to 1-9 before Luridian getting that last upper right. And that's the thing about the game chat, is that the main character Dana, you can't jump. So if you're down too far, you essentially just have to redo the puzzle, because you can't unnavigate yourself out of a situation like that.
Oh, it looks like we're seeing our first kind of boss level. There is a spooky floor of fire that I'm very intimidated by. That it seems to be. Oh my god! It's an auto-scrolling puzzle. This is
sweet.
This is amazing. This is the greatest video game made by human beings.
I love it.
My name is Old King Cake, and I want to say this is the greatest video game human beings have ever or will ever make.
Oh, and this is already so interesting because, yeah, I'm watching Luridian right now. Oh, nicely done. Yeah, it's so interesting watching people just figure out a game in real time.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, this is not a game that I know either, and so I'm trying to figure this out in real time alongside them. And yeah, even just looking at Luridian right now, I'm just kind of like, how? What's the play here?
Yeah, I'm kind of. It's funny. I find when we're doing these sneak bike races, anytime I've been watching, even as a commentator or also just as someone watching from home, I feel like I sit there and I try and figure out the puzzle, and I think it's so hard to put yourself in the position of the racers, right? Because either you'll see the solution immediately and you'll be like, why have they not figured this out yet? And you're like, please figure it out. Or you're sitting there and you're like, how are they doing this? I have no clue what my boy is doing, but I know it will for some reason be the solution.
Right. Yeah, and so that one did. Oh yeah, it looks like okay. Yeah, so my boy and Luridian are still on the same area of this boss level 110, and Fuzzy Boots and Lion are catching up. Looks like that one flame up top. I haven't figured out the solution to this yet.
Neither. I'm like sitting here trying to figure it out. That's so frustrating.
Yeah, because you have so there you're obviously trying to detach a block to get it to drop down, and then you can kick blocks. So if they can drop a block, there it is. But can you kick it? No, you can't.
So I think I see.
Oh my god.
I think Luridian. I am a plebeian, so I'm here to understand. I need to understand. Is it an unlimited amount of ice that you can spawn and break? Because if so, I think Luridian almost had the solution, and it looks like my boy is close to it as well.
Yep, I think
you
you're
just
right.
have to spawn and kick, no?
So you have to. It looks like you have to create an ice bridge that goes all the way. So like on the same platform that the flame is on,
Right.
I think you have to create a bridge that extends that platform far, so you can drop an ice block from above, and then drop directly on top of that ice block, move one tile to the right, and then kick it to the left.
And as we're talking about it, Luridian, the first to get through World 1.
Nicely done.
Holy heck in a handbasket. This is tremendous.
E4 winner of level 1. Winner.
So it's interesting too now, not to interrupt, but it's interesting now to me that my boy was our number one good friend of the last race, and we saw him kind of take a bit of an early lead, and now Luridian, who was our number 2 best friend in the last race, is now in the lead ahead of my boy. It'll be interesting for me, I think, to see that dichotomy
Totally.
play out before our eye.
Yeah, and it'll these leads will. Did my boy just clear? Yeah, my boy just cleared.
Did just
nicely
clear.
done, nicely done. Yeah, so the boss levels, I would assume, are gonna take some time individually on their own, and these levels will be a little bit easier in comparison. So, the lead might mount a little bit with Luridian and my boy, and Ghost Lion and Fuzzy Boots are going to have to figure this boss stage out pretty quick if they're gonna want to keep up.
And as we're saying that, Ghost, Mustard, and Fudge Lion is getting to the first boss fight. So it's still anyone's race.
Absolutely.
As we're seeing Luridian figure out World 2-2, also, just as we're seeing them figure it out, we're watching them figure out the puzzle. And let me tell you the solution to a puzzle that Sneakbike doesn't want you to know. Let me tell you the solution to the puzzle, all right? If you're sitting at home right now, maybe you're not in chat, maybe you're just sitting having a good time, and every streamer loves a good lurker. But let me just say, you can actually follow Sneakbike for free by pressing the follow button right under the player right now, and join us for races in the future if you're having a good time. And that's the solution to the puzzle that Sneakbike doesn't want you to know.
4 out of 5 Sneakbikers hate this one simple tip. Actually.
They hate it. Absolutely.
They hate it. And by hate, we mean love.
Absolutely. We don't hate anybody here. except for maybe the producers every time that I commentate a race, because I say things like that and it gets them very worried.
Speaking of which, shout out to the producers. Anyway, go on.
Sorry, another really interesting thing I just wanted to point out before we continue. Ghost MF Lion actually is now in World 3, so I think he might have skipped World 2.
Wait, hold on. What's going on here?
I think Ghost took the lead somehow.
Sequence breaking?
I don't know. This has never happened. This is like getting did he get a warp whistle? There's no rules. There's no laws, no gods, no masters.
You can choose any level, says Cassie. So
will Ghost Malarkey and Fisticuffs Lion have to go back to level 2? He does. Okay, thank God. Got it. Okay, cool. We have gotten confirmation from the game picker. He will have to go back. Okay, sorry. I was terrified of the ramifications of what was going to happen.
I can hold on. Yeah, Cake, carry us for a second, will you? I'll be right back.
Don't you worry, brother bear. I got it. What's up, chat? It's time for Solo Dolo Rolo with your boy, your friend, your confidant, Old King Cake. And let me tell you guys something. Not only can you follow for absolute free, if you have a Twitch Gaming, a Prime Gaming subscription, you can subscribe to Sneakbike absolutely for free. Get all those really cool, fun, fresh, hip, happy emotes, our good furry friends, and you can spam them in chat. And we love. Hey, let me tell you, some channels don't love a good emote spam. We here at Sneakbike love a good emote spam. And there's no better emotes to spam than Sneakbike emotes, made by lovely and talented people in the community who are here to make sure that we all have a really wonderful, lovely time with each other as friends. And we're seeing the racers. So it's interesting too. I don't know if you guys are seeing this the same way that I'm seeing this right now, is that Ghost has been stuck on 3-1. So he's theoretically ahead, but also theoretically behind. We're seeing a big a bigger separation between our racers, seeing Laridian at 2-7. We're seeing my boy get to 2-5 just now. Ghost is at 3-1, and Fuzzy's just getting to that boss fight. So we're seeing a bit of a separation, but I think it is still anyone's game.
Hey,
welcome back, Dex.
Thank you. I just let the racers know they can do levels out of order. It looks like I'm just watching. Oh, nice. Okay, never mind. We're good. We're all set.
Yeah, we're all good to go. And so now we're seeing Fuzzy go through the boss fight. I thought Fuzzy was just the most big-brained individual on planet Earth, because I thought Fuzzy was literally just going to make stairs all the way up. But then Fuzzy just beat the boss in one try, which we haven't seen any of our racers do. So like I said,
wow.
Fuzzy could easily come from behind.
Sweet. Ice Rock Island clear. World 1, baby.
And now we're getting a little bit of story. We're getting a little bit of... We found out that was called Ice Rock Island, which I didn't know going into it. And this is, if anyone's curious about the lore, the history of the game, and I know that I always am when we play these new games that I haven't played in Sneakbike. So Fire and Ice is actually a prequel to Solomon's Key, which is a game you may have heard of. It's a bit more of a, I'll say, more famous Nintendo Entertainment System video game. And it's actually called Solomon's Key 2 in everywhere but NA, those pesky NA video game namers. And it does, so I always think it's interesting, and I don't know if you have experience with this. I think it's really interesting when you look at old games and you realize they had no idea what they were doing. Like they were just throwing stuff at a wall, especially when it came to the naming conventions. They were just kind of doing stuff, you know? They were just kind of vibing, figuring it out as they went.
Totally.
And that's how you get games like Fire and Ice being Solomon's Key 2, which is the prequel to Solomon's Key.
Yeah. Fire and Ice is an interesting adaptation from the title Solomon's Key, because I feel like Fire and Ice leaves a lot more room for like misinterpretation or like not really communicating the idea very clearly. But I guess I can kind of see where their head was at. I don't know. It was, the further back you go in game development, the more it was just kind of like everyone was just figuring it out, you know? And And especially like how you get a lot more of these games that were just kind of built around like one simple mechanic,
Right.
you know? Yeah, and I do really like watching games like these for that very reason, because it's fun to try and like reverse engineer these games and be like, how did the developers, you know, where did the developers start in this process?
Yeah.
Was it from like, you know, was it from about being fire and ice and how to translate that into a game? Was it just that they wanted to make a puzzler? Like, did they have a block puzzle thing that they, you know, like all those steps like in the process, seeing, you know, how it came to be. And here we are now.
And the other cool thing about it too is that if you watch kind of the progression of gaming, like early gaming was very much like this, right? Like you have a simple mechanic. Even if you're looking at like the most famous video games of all time, like Mario is literally, this dude can jump. That's it. He got hops. That's what he's got. He's hops, runs, boom. There's some power-ups. You don't even need them. Like you might not even find them, and that's chill as hell, right?
Yep.
And then if you go to today, right? You go to the today times in the year of our Lord 2021, and video games are still being made like that today. And I think that's super cool. That like that concept of it's just like it's a really simple concept, just well done, well made. Gone Raj, have a good day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Super agree.
And so we're seeing Ghost is back in 2-2. So he did go back from 3-1 to get to 2-2. So I think he was trying to be a little sneaky Sally there and just go straight to World 3. And then when you told him that would not work, he did go back.
Well, yeah, and there's
if I had to take a guess.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if Ghost was just kind of like, it's not worth. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I were in that position, I guess I would just probably like say screw it and like stick with World 3, but it's probably at the same time, like in a lot of these games, they might teach you mechanics in the earlier levels, or like it might be easier to get your bearings on an earlier level. So this might have been a high level decision to just like get a better feel for the game earlier on, you know.
It was a tactical advantage for our good friend Ghost. Monday to Friday Lion. I think I used that already. Dang, I'm a bad commentator. All right. So the boss, I think we have the boss fight for Liridian, and the fire is moving. I don't know if you're seeing this as well.
That's nicely done, Liridian.
Very good.
Akimbo Ice.
Akimbo Ice.
All right.
Yes.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to recreate that again just like that. Oh, okay, nice. Oh, it's trapped. Oh, this is super interesting. Gosh, it's like,
oh my god.
Do you try and it's like, are you gonna try? Does Liridian want to try and set up kind of the whole level to like? Oh gosh, yeah, I don't even know. It's like, do you want to set it all up and try and get them all at once, or like? You gonna try and target one at a time, or?
Yeah.
Oh
man, I gotta say, I love watching people figure out puzzles, man. Because I am shook. I'm shook to my core at the amount of big brain, 5-head brain wrinkles I'm seeing on the Ridian screen.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a proud himbo, I can only look on with admiration at these runners, because I'd be broken. I'd be a broken person.
This is definitely, I think, the most himbo commentary duo we've ever had. This is easily the two people least qualified to commentate on a puzzle game, and I thank Sneakbike for being so proud and so brave to let us be here.
Puzzle look hard.
Puzzle do be looking hard.
Puzzle fun.
Puzzle do be fun. I've been saying. I don't think people are saying it enough. That puzzle do be looking fun.
Gosh, yeah. This is tough. Yeah, I'm still okay. We got Fuzzy Boots closing the gap at 2-6, my boy 2-8, and Ghostline at 2-3. Liridian is still. I mean, this boss battle for 210 looks like it's definitely going to tie some people up, including Liridian. Because I mean, again, are you going to try and orchestrate everything and then like go for them all in one swoop? Are you going to try and path your way out to hit one of those flames at a time? The fact that they're moving is just, for me, I look at that and go, this is terrifying. What do you want from me? Do you want me to trap them? Like, am I supposed to trap them? Am I supposed to time them?
You know?
I think it's really cool too that it's literally like you're watching the progression of the mechanics, right? And like I'm not a game developer by any means. Like I'm me big dumb, but it's really cool to see the game is literally like it sat there and taught you like, okay, there's static fires, and World 1 is literally just like you can make ice, you can break ice, and you need to put these fires out. That's it, right?
Right.
And then World 2 is like, all right, we're going to give you a little bit more challenge. We're going to introduce more blocks, more stuff, right? And then you get to the end of World 10 or World 2, and they're like, all right, buckle up, buckaroo. These things are going to start moving. And if I'm a betting man, World 3 is going to probably have some moving fire as well.
Oh, gosh.
So it's so cool to literally sit here and watch the game teach the players, like, this is what you have to do.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, it's big moves from Luridian. Luridian's got
huge.
the two flames on the right, the top and the right one. Luridian's got those kind of in the bag, but the cost of getting those is high because like you can,
Oh, I think I see.
this is big.
I think I'm seeing it through the looking glass right now. I think I see what he's doing.
Yeah, this is big. This feels like a big moment because yeah, oh gosh.
Okay, Luridian, you're mixing us up here. You're making it harder for us to commentate. I would love for you to figure this puzzle out. I have no idea. I thought I knew where he was going. I was like kind of in there like swimwear with him, and now I'm completely. Oh my God! Wait.
Yep, they're gonna knock it. The one on the so
Luridian is
gratifying.
smarter than any person I've ever met in my life.
It's true. It's true.
I want
The
Luridian.
wrinkles. Oh,
There it is. The wrinkles are so deep.
Oh! Skipping the cutscene too, please. The lore.
These are the deepest wrinkles I've ever seen.
There was like a King Chameleon character. I wanted to know them, but I
I
understand.
wanted to meet them. I wanted to shake their hand.
It's a speed run. Oh, nice. It's Ace Face redeeming that you got the thing reward. Nicely done. Good timing.
Thank you so much. And hey, if you guys have some channel point rewards, you guys got some bits, you've been watching ads, you've being a good little capitalist soldier, you can spend them right here at Sneakbike, and all the profits for the tournament that we've been running here on Sneakbike for a little bit of what we've been doing. If you're a little new here, has been going to charity. So good money for a good cause and all that kind of stuff.
It's true. Spend it knowing it's going to the right place, which is not my pocket.
Which is not your pocket. It's not Mel's pocket. It may or may not be my pocket.
Yeah, well,
I lied. I did a lie. I'm sorry.
all right. So 2-8 is the level on the bottom half of the screen for Fuzzy Boots and my boy. 2-5 for Ghost Lion. Still could very much, depending on what World 3 has in store, could very much give them some time to catch up, and they're all pretty close to one another. So even if miraculously Luridian just powers their way through the rest of World 3, the battle for second is going to be wild. But again, not calling it, not even close to calling it right now, but there is the race is tighter than it looks.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's interesting to see that we started with kind of very static pole positions, right? Like my boy and Luridian were ahead, and they were just cruising like they did in the first game, and then Dr. Fuzzy Boots and Ghost Monday to Friday Lion were catching up, right? And now we're seeing not only is Luridian taking a bit more of a lead, but we're actually seeing Doc catching up to my boy and overtaking him. And Ghost Mother Father Lion getting past World 2 at a breakneck pace. And remember that he already passed 3-1, so he's actually still a level ahead.
It's true.
So this is very close. Ghost Mr. Fire and Ice Lion is really mounting an impressive comeback.
Man, how many levels are in this game? Oh, 100, according to the Cassie's write-up. 100 levels, so there are 10 worlds.
not only are there 100 base levels, but there's also 50 little sneaky bonus levels. The developers won't tell you this, and Nintendo won't tell you this, but my uncle Castlevania, who picked these games, does work at Nintendo and told me there's 50 bonus levels to get a secret true ending, which is the prelude to Game of Thrones.
Wow, that's incredible.
I know, I was shocked when I first heard it.
A song
It shook
of
me to my core.
A song of fire and ice.
Yep, that's what we're watching right now. Is I think the plot to the show that I did definitely watch, and I do have an understanding of what we're going to talk about if we make any Game of Thrones jokes.
Any da-na-na-na-na-na-na-nas in the chat. Anyway, moving on.
I too enjoy the theme song for that was probably Game of Thrones.
Oh yes,
as well.
yes, of course, yes. Are you seeing this on Ghostlion screen right now? Is Ghostlion okay?
This is the part of the Newgrounds game where you have to, you have to give it a little bit of a refresh, little Alt F4 action. Dr. Fuzzy Boots getting to the second castle, getting to our next boss fight.
Nice. Okay, cool. Lion is back from the Shadow Realm. This is good. You like
Back
it.
from the Shadow Realm. You love to see it. You hate to be in a retro race and one of your good friends is lost in the Shadow Realm and their grandfather has been kidnapped by Pegasus. You hate to see it.
Really one of the worst things. Yeah, it's true.
It's one of the worst things that can happen in a retro race. They don't tell you that when you sign up.
Okay, so Cassie also did a little bit of a write-up just to help viewers understand mechanically. Cassie writes that if ice is cast next to a wall or another non-fire object, the ice will stick to that object. Because of this, you need at least 3 tiles width of space to create single blocks of ice. Advanced moves involve casting ice in a corner when Dana is blocked from physically accessing that spot. This is important for many levels where you only want a piece of ice to travel a certain distance, or if you want inaccessible ice to stick to a wall. God. So the wall stick mechanic is something that I think I haven't fully internalized.
Right.
The racers definitely have. I definitely did not. I missed that.
Again, there's never been a more qualified commentary team to do a puzzle game than us right now.
Yeah.
Thanks again. Shout out to Cassie for picking these games. These have both been phenomenal games to watch and for doing such a great job with the write-up. I want some claps to my ayahs for Cassie and go follow them as well. I believe they also do be streaming. I think we had a shout out earlier in the chat, so go give them a little follow, hit that bell and all that good kind of stuff.
And speaking of claps for Fuzzy Boots for clearing World 2. World 2 is cleared.
Insane pace. Once again, Loridian spent a long time on that boss. We could see a huge comeback here.
Fuzzy Boots is developing developing a reputation for being able to kind of just attack a problem head on. We've seen this in Load Runner last week and in Fire and Ice this week, where just kind of just a very impressive ability to like one-shot a boss or a puzzle, very cool.
It's very cool because Fuzzy Boots, from what I've seen of him so far, Fuzzy Boots is that kind of player that will sit there and rather than kind of just bashing their head against the wall like I would, he'll really just sit there and kind of figure out the mechanics. He goes into that like Sherlock Holmes discombobulate state, starting to figure out the puzzle, and it's really, really cool to see when he figures out a game and just starts cruising.
Yeah, it's like being able to sight read music, It's like just being able to see and play along, which is very very impressive. I think I'm just always trying to make jazz analogies, and there it is. There it is.
You like jazz?
You like jazz?
Hey, good joke. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that that's the best joke we're making today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. That is the best joke.
We're gonna wrap stream actually. Yeah, thank you so much.
The race is over. That's it. We peaked.
So DFB, Dr. Fuzzy Boots, is only a few stages behind Loridian right now, and it looks like we might have a spot of what we call lag. There we go. Dr. Fuzzy Boots is back. Yeah, and again, it's a tight race, and if Faceball was any indicator, just because somebody's in the lead doesn't mean they're going to stay there. We'll see if anyone can catch up.
I know it's a bit of a sneak meme at this point, but we're seeing a Ghost Lion getting to 2-9 as my boy has been stuck on 2-9 for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
This is legitimately a great equalizer of a game.
Listen, someone had to say it, and it's brave of you to be the one.
Thank you so much.
Truly was a great equalizer.
And it's like it's not even a meme for me right now. I'm having so much fun, and I hope that anyone watching at home it's translating that I'm having so much fun just watching these players figure out these puzzles, because
Totally.
it's so close, it's so tight. Any puzzle could be a player's undoing.
Yeah,
Any
absolutely.
individual puzzle can stump somebody.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of the fascinating thing about racing a puzzle game too, is that like one single level, the answer might just jump out to somebody in a way that it did not to any of the other racers, and that would make a huge difference, you know? Because again, in the case of like level 2-9, it's been somewhat of a block for my boy, and Ghost Lion is working their way to it as well. You know, there are just some levels where some people might get caught up, some people might breeze through it really quickly. Then Fuzzy Boots might hit a wall, Iridian might hit a wall, who knows? Our brains are mysterious. They work in mysterious ways. Sorry, go on.
No, absolutely. At this time, I do want to give one more shout out. I'm sure we'll continue shouting them out, but just a huge shout out to our producer, Jen the Human. Go follow them. They're an absolutely phenomenal streamer. I believe they're still playing Super Metroid right now, which has been a ball. It's been a blind playthrough with absolutely no spoilers. So it's been really fun watching that. And they've been doing a great job helping us here. You know, without Jen, we're just a couple of knuckleheads sitting here and watching people play a puzzle game. But Jen is here keeping us all in line, making sure everyone is having a good, great, dandy old time on a lovely Saturday afternoon.
Gosh, that castle is really unsettling.
It is.
Just exited.
Absolutely. But it's really, and again, to come back to your point about the pixel art, every single sprite so far has been so unique, so full of character.
Mm-hmm.
Like no two sprites have looked the same, and they all have so much like life in their animation, like you said.
Totally.
It's very cool, man. What a cool game. Dang.
Yeah, the NES, I think like a lot of the classic games that we are kind of that like are the one, you know, the must plays or whatever for NES. A lot of those were like early to mid life cycle of the NES, but there were a lot of games that flew under the radar for NES that like really pushed the envelope of the graphics or the sound or whatever. Like as developers get more acquainted with the technology, like the stuff that they can make with them really will surprise you. Totally. This game's no exception.
And we just saw Ghost first try the second castle.
Was it the second or the first castle? That was a weird situation where I think that they might have just played 110 again. I don't know. Was it 110 or was it 210?
Okay. That was the first castle. Okay, sorry. My mind was soup for a second.
No, you're good. But yeah, now Ghost is on 210. So
right,
I don't
with the moving fires.
I actually don't know what happened there. I don't know if that was
probably maybe a little cheeky misclick, happens to the best of us, but still
totally
210, nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely. And yeah, now Ghost Lion and my boy are both battling their way against the 4 moving fires. I don't really know what threat these fires pose to anybody. You know, why this is a boss battle. I'm so curious. Like, you know, like
the lore. I like it. I mean, I think what it comes from, honestly, is that in the before times, if there's anyone here who maybe isn't a NES gamer like some of us else here in the chat, the main villain of this is an evil wizard, which is pretty standard for these kind of old, Nintendo games. And evil wizards have one thing down pat, and it's summoning evil fire to do their bidding.
It's true.
So I think that's what we're seeing here. in a sort of Castlevania style. Dracula can just shoot fire for some reason.
Yeah, and I guess, now that you say that, I suppose one of the worst things that you could do in a situation like this is just let that fire go on willy-nilly, Like
Absolutely.
There is definitely an obligation to take care of rogue fire that just runs amok in a room. You might think that you can leave it alone, but who knows? Who knows what it's capable of if you let it leave it to its own devices for too long.
Absolutely. Smokey the Bear did tell me to stop forest fires, and I think that's actually what the game here is all about that we're seeing is stopping forest fires.
Yeah.
And making sure that the future generation can go to Cool Mint Island in peace, which is the best name for an overworld I've ever heard in my life.
I would half expect a name like that to come from a game that was about like Wrigley Gum or something. And also shout outs to my boy for finishing 210. Nicely done.
My boy finally getting to the third, and I don't mean to disparage him with finally, but he was stuck in World 2 for a while. It did allow Ghost Monday to Friday Lion to catch up, and it's been really interesting to see Ghost is kind of cruising through some of these levels that we're giving our Luridian and my boy, who were in the lead, a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, and tying back to a little bit about the ebb and flow of progress, Fuzzy Boots has kind of caught up pretty convincingly to Luridian now. Luridian definitely picked up an early lead in World 3 while everybody else was working their way through World 2, and now Fuzzy Boots is actually only one stage behind.
Absolutely, and it's again been very cool to see these players come up with different solutions to the puzzles, while also it's clear to see that some of these players are having a little bit more trouble on some puzzles than others, so it's been very cool to see the progress. Totally.
Yeah, and I think that one thing that's kind of nice about the way that this is formatted is that since the racers don't know where they are in relation to the other racers, I think in this case specifically, like that feels like it provides, and I don't know, I guess it depends on the runner, but like for me, it would make it less frustrating, I feel, to not know directly where my opponents are in relation to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if I could see where my opponents were on a puzzle game and I was having trouble with a puzzle, that would be frustrating, I think, for me. Like I'd be like, oh, why aren't I getting this? Like, oh gosh, I gotta hurry kind of thing. But when you don't know where everybody else is at, your thought maybe your thought process becomes, well, I hope everybody else is having trouble with this too, because I am.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny when you talk about it too, like some of the more traditional games that you play on Sneakbike. Also, congratulations to Ghost for getting through Castle 2, getting to skip 3-1. Again, I kind of forgot a little bit. He has a little bit of a cheeky lead because he did already do 3-1, so he's almost caught right back up to my boy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. Normally on Sneakbike, you'll see sometimes like more platformer games, kind of like what you would more traditionally consider a racing game, right? And in that, it's like if you die in a platformer, if you die too many times, you game over. In your head, it can really hurt your mental because you're like, everyone's ahead of me. Like they didn't die there, they're still moving on, so on and so forth, right? So there's a very clear mark of like, oh, I'm now behind because I've died. In a puzzle game, that doesn't really happen. Like unless you get really stumped on a puzzle, you don't know if you're behind, right? So you don't have that same kind of thing in your mental going like, oh man, I'm behind, I'm losing,
Totally.
That same demoralization.
And Luridian is only one stage away. I mean, it's 3-9 and then it's 3-10. So I'm pretty curious to see how 3-10 shapes up because Luridian's in a pretty good position right now.
Absolutely. And if it's anything like the other boss fights, it could be a great equalizer. It could be a great equalizer for the players because the boss fights have seemed to really kind of switch things up and change it up. And because everyone is so close, all it takes is Luridian to get stuck on 3-9 for a little longer, get stuck on 3-10 for a little longer, and we could see Fuzzy Boots catch right up. We could see my boy and Ghost Lion catch right up. It's so close.
It's true. I'm This puzzle actually 3-9 is looking kind of tough.
It's a doozy. Absolutely.
I haven't been able to figure out the solution myself yet.
No, I'll be honest with you. I have not even been trying. I've looked at it and I've been like, nope. My brain hurts.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm almost positive that Luridian had it. Not to just focus too hard. Just because there are 3 other racers that are crushing as well. Looks like Ghost Lion just finished 3-3, closing the gap.
And it's crazy to see as well. My boy, our winner of the last game, is actually now in last place.
Oh, how the turntables, as they say.
The turn has been so tabled, and here we go.
Wait! Oh
Here
my god!
It is 310.
It's another vertical scrolling boss level.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Put it in my veins.
Oh boy. Interesting.
I love the concept of a puzzle auto scroll. I don't know. I'm sure it's very frustrating to play through, but God, it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, this is already a very interesting. Yep, nice. This is a very interesting puzzle. Getting outside of that staircase. Now you're on top of it. Gotta. Oh,
you have to wait for it to scroll.
Camera, please. Hello.
Camera. T-tours.
Can I get some upward scrolling here?
Could I get any more scrolling? Oh, I think. Wait a minute. I think that's it. I think Luridian just beat 310.
Oh, nicely done, and Luridian with the number 1 good friend spot goes to Luridian.
Gracious.
Nicely done. Claps in the chat and GG's. Luridian, number 1 good friend.
A second in game 1 and a first in game 2. You love to see it. Congratulations to Luridian. Let's get some, there we go. Love seeing it. Some claps, some GG's, and all the other good stuff. Wow. Congrats, nice. Man, just ahead the whole game, like a very commanding lead, kept the lead. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was really good. And, something that I like about the formatting of this too is that, the races for the other positions like 2 and 3 and 4 are usually like a nice healthy like sub race now, because now we have the race for second and it's stage 3-4, stage 3-4, and stage 3-6.
Mm-hmm. And exactly, it's very close, and it's also fun because now that we've seen the solution, like we've seen Luridian just did 310. We know what's coming up. We know what some of the harder levels coming up are going to look like, and now we get to see the racers deal with those challenges.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And it looks like Ghost and my boy, you could almost it looks like the exact same feed.
Yeah,
they are 1 pixel off from each other.
I think Ghost and my boy have both simultaneously understood that you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to build yourself a staircase to set yourself up in the top right, and you're supposed to hit that flame from the right side. Not stack. You can't stack it up from the left and attack it. I think you're supposed to go down, build yourself a staircase up to that right pocket, and then attack that flame from the right. Mm-hmm. And both of them built their staircase to the left and just stopped and went, oh.
That's
dang.
One of my favorite parts of Sneakbike is watching someone like stop. Like they just stop moving in the middle of a race and go like, right, yeah, for sure.
Right. And I think that, so yep, my boy just used that technique to get to the right pocket. Ghost is still trying to attack this from the left, it looks like, which is gonna be rough.
It's gonna be rough. I wonder if it's doable, because we shout outs to Cassie for giving us the notes. There are different, like multiple solutions to every puzzle, right?
It's true.
So I wonder if there is a way for Ghost Monday to Friday line to figure this out.
I would say, from the look of it, I would say no, because based on the physics that we know and the mechanics that we know so far, you would have to be able to kick that block from the same level, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. You'd have to be
Mhm.
able to kick it like one square. You'd have to position yourself one square to the left of that block and kick it right, because you can't kick a block against a wall and then keep forward momentum to go further into that flame, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally dig what you're saying. And
Yeah.
also, shout outs to Laridian, who's now in chat for the not only the resubscription, but a great race saying if you like puzzles, you should try it. And if you like puzzle games, if you like retro games, video games in general, what I want you to do right now, I don't want you to take another breath before you do this. I want you to hit !Discord. I want you to hop up in the Sneakbike Discord. I want you to sign up for another race if you're so inclined. Even if you're not so inclined, join the Discord, come in the community. If you're not already doing it, hit the follow button on the channel, hit that bell so you know exactly when we're going live, so you know when the next race is. And if you want to participate, do so. You can be a commentator, you can be a racer. We accept all people, all kinds, and all interests. So get up and in here.
Yeah, get up off that thing. Get up on that
off
thing.
that thing and shake till you feel better. That's what I want. Cassie's saying there's an edit mode to make your own. This is the greatest video game ever made. This is the greatest video game made by human beings.
Dude, shoutouts to
Ever.
the NES developers, like pushing the envelope and offering level editors for their NES games. That feels like a concept that didn't get introduced until like post NES, but apparently not. I'm learning every day.
It's very cool because you gotta wonder too that I wonder how many people who are game developers now played a game like this and played with the level editor and was like, oh, this is cool as hell. I want to make a video game now.
Totally. Yeah, the first game that made me think about developing was The Incredible Machine. I don't know if you remember that game. It was edutainment game.
Yes, sir. One of the best edutainment games on this planet or any other. Yes, that game banged.
Yeah, I was a nerd for learning games because I was just such a gamer. I was just so addicted to gaming as a kid. I was like, I don't care if it's educational. It's a game. I'm about it. Let me build.
Elite gamer.
I was hopeless, man. I was hopeless. I would take it however it got. You know, didn't matter.
You needed your fix. You were a junkie, man. This is an intervention.
I beat Mario is Missing, dude. That's how bad it was.
God.
I don't know if you've played Mario is Missing. I finished that game and it was abhorrent. It was a stain upon my life, and I still was just like, give me
more.
Give me more. I'm stuck at my aunt's house. I hate it here. I'm just gonna play Mario is Missing and not talk to anybody.
I've not had the personal pleasure of welcome to Sneakbike therapy session. I've had the personal pleasure of meeting and finding Marty in that lovely video game for the what console was that? Was it like
Super Nintendo?
Super Nintendo. But I will say that I have always loved a good video game, a good video gaming, and I love to see the idea of someone playing a game like that, like Incredible Machine, or like Mario is Missing, which is I'm sure the true inspiration for you wanting to make games, and being like, oh, like I want to do this.
Yeah, totally.
Like I think that's one of the coolest parts about any medium, but I think specifically gaming is that you can it can be such a big part of your life that you get to a point where you're like, I want to do this for other people. Like I want to make something so cool that the feeling that I'm feeling is going to happen for somebody else by proxy of the thing I make.
Totally. Yeah, and that could be for art, that can be for, music, it can be for all sorts of stuff, app development, what is your kind of critical moment where you're done consuming and ready to start making? Just kind of cool. I'm always fascinated for people's stories in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the coolest parts again about editing modes in games, because like even more recently, like there's games like Little Big Planet, and that's the only one that I can think of because that's the greatest video game ever made. Those games also, they're directed at kids, at like the younger audience, and they have these really intricate level designers. I guess Super Mario Maker would be the way more relevant pull to make there.
No, but still, yeah. I mean, the other ones that you listed, especially Little Big Planet and stuff. Yeah, those were all really influential. even though they might be older, a little bit behind. Like, yeah, those are historically really popular editor modes that have inspired people to create, which is cool.
Mhm. So we're seeing Ghost is figuring it out slowly but surely. I think I think Fuzzy might have fallen asleep. I think my boy might have fallen asleep. These are some difficult puzzles, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, is that the idle? It looks like the idle animation. The hat
I
is
love
over the
that.
head, and they're like snoozing.
That's exactly how I sleep. I don't know about you. That is when I'm just trying to catch a few Zeds. That's what I'm doing. Hat on eyes, boom, out.
Yep. And the bubbles start rolling.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. The bubbles were the. And again, it's such a cute little island. I love idle animation, man. That's one of my favorite parts about old games, like Sonic wagging his finger and you know, little sleepy guys. Even
For
Mario
sure.
64's little sleepy guys. Love it.
Yep. Yeah, just a cute little way of saying, you know, hey, we see that you're chilling right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna chill too.
Okay, my boy is back in action. He's Looney Tunes back in action, ready to rumble on 3-5. And he's cruising at a rather solid pace. And it's interesting because he was sitting there. It looks like he was just sitting there trying to figure it out. And now he's cruising like someone who's figured it out.
Did they just like do like a mental assessment and then just come out of the gate swinging? Is that what we just saw? Like they
I'm
just
telling you.
idled and like
Full Sherlock Holmes mode.
put their brains in the hyperbolic time chamber and came out Super Saiyan like Galaxy Brain? What the heck?
He went in the hyperbolic time chamber. It was so good, man. It was oh, it's so close. I actually can't even. Our job here is to make the game seem more interesting, to tell the stories of these racers. I don't think we can tell it any better than just watching how close this race is.
Yeah, I mean 3-5, 3-5, and 3-6. I am going to pop into the racer chat and just update them on the situation. We're gonna go for I think about 5 more minutes or so. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. And while you're gone, I want to say a huge shout out to Deadly Sarbar, for giving us a good little cheeky raid. Welcome to Sneakbike. We're here chilling, playing some retro games, having a good time. Sorry for hashing up your name. I have a Canadian accent, which is hard to say the EA kind of connector thing. But anyway, welcome to Sneakbike. If it's your first time here, we're a retro gaming community holding races as friends, as good friends do. We're here to just talk about the enjoyment of games, having a good time. And if this game looks a little weird to you, if it's the first time you're seeing this kind of game, what you can do is you can hop on in, you can hit ! Discord, you can join the community, and you yourself, if you're thinking like, hey, I could have beaten this game by now 20 minutes ago. Boom, there's your way. Also want to give a huge shout out to the one I apparently missed because I'm an awful commentator and host, Geffa Wisps, for giving us the little cheeky host / race as well. Thank you very much. Welcome in, ladies and germs. We're coming to a bit of we're getting to a bit of the end of today's race. We've had 2 games today. Laridian already beating this game. We're going to give our race a little bit more time to get to where they need to get in this race before calling it a bit of a day and getting our races in for a little chat about their gaming experiences.
Yo, I'm back. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and we will take it from there. Let's see. There we go.
God, what an absolute professional. I was going to just say 5 minutes, and then I was going to treat it like an alarm clock and completely forget about it.
Well, see, that's how I do when I'm only responsible for myself. Time doesn't
Absolutely.
exist. But when I'm responsible for other people's time, then I actually care. So, all right, 5 minutes is going now. It looks like, yeah. So we're still on the great. Wow, truly, perhaps the greatest equalizer that we've seen. 3-5,
Possibly
3-6.
the greatest equalizer we've ever seen. Because it's also interesting because we were talking about how Ghost came back in a major way. Dr. Fuzzy Boot had a big comeback in a major way. My boy stalling a little bit in the later levels. And here we are, almost literally the exact same place.
Wowie zowie.
Wowie zowie, goodness gracious, glorioski. And I see Mistress Dexter is asking for a sneak on a bike. And let me tell you how you can get a sneak on a bike if you're sitting here in chat and you're wondering, look at all these sneaky bikers and all these people who are biking sneakily. If you have an Amazon Prime available, a Twitch Gaming Prime subscription available, you can for free take Jeff Bezos' money right out of his pocket. You can just go yoink, and you can give it right here to Sneakbike, and you can get some cool little fun, fresh, happy little emotes, sneaky bikes and at all.
True. And honestly, nothing hits quite like yoinking a little bit of change out of Jeffy B's pocket. Listen.
Nothing makes me happier.
Yeah.
Than stealing money from Jeff Bezos. If you're listening, Jeff, that's a joke. If you're not listening, that's not a joke.
All right, so we are at 3 minutes left in this race. So really, for the spot of number 2 friend, Fuzzy Boots is looking to take it right now because my boy and Ghost Lion are still working on that last flame in the top right. Ooh,
I think my boy might have it here though.
Yeah, it's hard to say because you disconnect that block in the top. I haven't thought this solution through yet.
Me neither. I'm like kind of playing. I'm playing along at home right now.
Oh,
I think that's it, right?
Oh, but the thing is, I don't know because you have to push. The thing is, when you create an ice block,
right?
You might depending on where you're standing, you might delete the one that's in front of you. So I don't know if you can just make a block by standing one. I'm not doing a very good job of explaining this. Oh my gosh!
But he does it.
Yeah, nicely.
Who needs commentators when you have gameplay like this? Goodness gracious, cruising at 3.6. Never seen a faster level selection screen, and now we're at 3.7 for Dr. Fuzzy Boots. Goodness gracious.
That was amazing. Thank you, my boy. You saved me a lot of trouble there.
The zoomies on display are palpable.
It's true. 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and DFB looking to cinch it.
I can think of no greater way to end this than DFB's amazing comeback story ending in him being our number 2 friend. If that is in fact how it ends, it might not. So let's keep our peepers peeled. And while we do that, you can keep your peepers peeled to that follow button, which better be a lighter shade of purple than it was before you pressed it. And also the bell should be purple as well. Again, secrets they don't want you to tell. You can actually change the color of the Twitch follow button just by clicking it, just by giving it a click. Isn't that crazy? And Fuzzy at 3.8.
Wow,
Fuzzy could go all the way.
That was quick. 50 seconds left. That's pretty cinched for a second with 45 seconds left.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's still 3.6 and 3.5 to go for Lion and my boy. So DFB is just looking to hold on.
But could we possibly see? Are the scrolls true? Is the prophecy real? Could we see Dr. Fuzzy Boots get to 3:10 before our time has run out today?
20 seconds. Who knows? Anything can happen. Time isn't real.
Time is a theoretical concept. That's so true.
It's already the end of April, and I feel like I blinked twice, so anything can happen in this last 10 seconds of this race.
Thank you for saying something so controversial and yet so true. Time just isn't real. And again, they don't want you to know that at Sneakbike, but let me tell you, time is a construct, man.
True. And that is going to be time for our racers. I'm going to pop into the chat and let them know. I will be right back.
All right. And while he's gone, ladies and germs and everyone in between, all of our good friends here, our sneaky friends in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to be doing a little bit of a debrief with our racers. We're going to be talking with them, hanging out with them, asking them what their opinion is. So stick by for that. If you haven't already, please. I know it's been a bit of a joke, but please follow the channel. Sneakbike is such a lovely community, and they let people like me just come in and have a great time with you guys here in chat. And give them a follow, give them a subscription if you're so inclined. You can also go to the YouTube channel if you've missed a race and you want to find out what kind of races have happened in the past, you can do that. You can go to the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow all the racers here today. All of them are lovely streamers, great individuals. And make sure you follow my co-commentator, Dexter Chaco, is another phenomenal streamer, a much better streamer than I am. So if you're going to follow anyone between the two of us, follow him. Follow
please.
Jen the Human, our producer, who did such a phenomenal job keeping us together, keeping us on track here. And also our co-producer, Melatonin, who's been sneakily, quietly in the background, just pressing all the buttons and twisting all the knobs to make sure that everything runs smoothly. And with that, I think it's time for a little sneaky debrief. So we're gonna pull our racers in here. There we go. Oh, that beautiful Discord joining sound. Gentlemen, how we feeling? Let's start. Let me start. I'm gonna be constructed with my interview. Luridian, how you feeling, man?
Oh, not too shabby.
Not too shabby there, bud. Thank you so much for making me feel welcome. So, talk to me about the games today, man. Let's start. I want to start with Faceball 2000.
Yeah, that game. That game was not, you have certain expectations coming into these runs. It's like, okay, they're old games, but I had never ever heard of Faceball 2000. That game is wild.
Wild, you've never heard of it. It is one of the most famous video games that I can even think of. If you ask me to name a video game, I'm naming Faceball 2000. I want to get Fuzzy Boots too. Fuzzy Boots, talk to me about Faceball 2000 a little bit. Give me some gamer insight on Faceball 2000 real quick.
It's got some limitations on the hardware there. It's got a few issues there.
It's got a few issues, yeah.
I mean, but it's almost like running, Doom on a Super Nintendo, essentially. So,
do you think...
it's not Doom, that's for sure.
Do you think that it's a game that maybe you might recommend to somebody who wants to play Doom but is a little scared of all the demons and monsters?
Definitely not, because that was a little bit more brutal than Doom.
More brutal than Doom. That is a big quote. That's a headline. Doctor, I think you loved this game. That's what I'm getting from this interview. And as the interviewer, I will put those words in your mouth that I think you loved that game. And can I just a quick... Doctor, I want to give you a shout out right now because you had possibly one of the most bonkers comebacks in a puzzle game I've ever seen. You were cruising for a second there.
And then I get stuck at 3-6.
I want you
we
to
still
know
talking about Faceball.
I want you to know, Fire and Ice now, I want you to know that every single human being on planet Earth got stuck at 3-6 with you.
It's true. It's true. We're all working it out in heads.
A great equalizer.
My boy, how you feeling? Are you a Faceball stan or a Fire and Ice main?
I'm gonna go with Faceball, as controversial that might be.
Oh my god!
This is quite a good game. Like, don't get me wrong, but God, that was that's a thinker. It's a thing where my brain muscle feels hurt right now.
So, okay, riddle me this, because there was a period of time where you idled for a little bit. Was that you just taking a breather,
Nope.
taking a break?
Nope, it's me putting the controller down and like banging my head against the desk, trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Okay, I am always so curious because we've seen racers like just chill and assess, and we were noticing, and we're just like, all right, but it was cool because I feel like you came back from it, and I can't remember if you immediately cleared that level or not, but you definitely like went back into and made more progress than you did before. So that was a cool recentering moment that I feel like we saw. How did you feel about the racing otherwise?
It was good. Like, yeah, the puzzle game was rough. I think it's a good game, but it's a puzzle game. It's a good puzzle game because it makes you think hard. Faceball, I think somebody else had mentioned it too. I had rented that game in the past. But I think, and you even touched on it, like my mom didn't want me playing Doom as a kid, so we had like this game in Noah's Ark 3D or whatever to play, which were basically Doom Light.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I didn't play it that much, but I had played it before. I think my memory of it was really clunky, and it definitely is clunky, but like this game's controls. But I think like the hint about like pushing L and R to turn left and right faster really helped like maneuvering and being able to like pseudo strafe, if you will.
Yeah, well, because it looked like for Faceball, one of the biggest issues was that the corridors were so tight and the enemies were so big and the
Right.
projectiles were so big that like getting out of the way of shots was a huge factor and looked very difficult for the most part. So
Yeah, the regen health was nice though. So yeah, I kind of like hid in the corner when that got tight.
yeah, totally. Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Ghost, how are you feeling?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right.
Faceball or Fire and Ice? How are you feeling? If you had to pick one, Desert Island, rest of your life, only one video game.
I mean, between the two, it would be Fire and Ice, I think. I didn't. There was not really a whole lot of strafing involved in Face Check, and that was like super challenging to like try to get around. I eventually felt more comfortable with it, but yeah, it was that was a challenging game. Both of them were pretty tough, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, totally. How did you feel about like, especially so I'm curious about the puzzle game, about Fire and Ice specifically. How did it feel when you would hit like a little wall, like for the puzzle game? Did it feel like, were you thinking about like where your opponents were at all in relation, or like what was going through your head when you would find yourself trying to think through like a particular puzzle?
I didn't spend a whole lot of time worrying about where other people were in the game.
Nice.
I just tried to focus on what was in front of me. I don't know, whenever I hit a wall, it got, especially World 3. Well, so I see, first off, whenever I realized we could jump around, I was like, oh,
Yes.
I tried to go as far. I was like, how far can we go? And that wasn't clear. So I'm glad that you clarified that. So I felt like I kind of jumped around quite a bit. So it was like, if I got into a tougher area, it was like, oh, it's because I jumped around. I skipped from 1 to 3, and I didn't even finish 1 before I tried to go into 3. I found out. So I was doing a lot of back and forth on that. So
and that was really interesting when I saw you doing it, because there's kind of this element of like, you know, maybe Ghost was going to try and clear the harder levels first and like scout out those later levels, but you went to 3 and you actually went back to 2, which I thought was really interesting. Was it because you felt like what made you want to jump back to 2 after 3?
it was just harder, and it was clearly a something that kind of like, say, Celeste or something like that, where they like introduce new mechanics and different ways to climb around and do stuff. Like it seemed like you use skills that you learned in earlier ones, you know, as kind of like building blocks towards future ones. So
Totally.
I mean, I made it to the last level in 2, and then went back and did the last level in 1, because you like couldn't finish 1 until you finished the other. I realized, like, it unlocked it after I did it. So like, going back to 110, it was like super easy at that point. But if I had just continued on there, I might have found a different, might have had more difficulty with it.
Totally. No, I agree. That was kind of what it seemed like, is that, the later levels, it's like, you don't want to skip stuff where they're taking time to teach you or whatever. So I thought that was a good play on your part, to double back. That was sweet. Nicely done, y'all. That was a super sweet set of races to watch.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you guys so much for commentating.
our pleasure.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
picking such wonderful games, Cassie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, big shout outs to Cassie for picking those games. That was sweet. Do you think that y'all will ever go back to here's my question. Who's setting up the first 16 player Faceball LAN party on Parsec? Who's hosting?
God. Can the SNES handle that?
The Atari could, so I'm hoping the SNES could.
I'm there. Let me tell you, the second that happens, I am there.
Somebody hack in the Halo pistol and I'll be in.
There we go. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, y'all. Super appreciate you running. We hope to see you again. We love the narratives that are being formed with like I don't know, it's been really cool seeing repeat runners and just kind of getting a feel for the way that y'all approach these new games and these new experiences. Like there are narratives being built, and it's because y'all keep showing up, so thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
Thanks for saying that. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just coming out here and doing poorly at video games, but nice of you to say that.
No, I was saying in the Fire and Ice commentary, there was one moment specifically where I think DFB, you like breezed through one of the boss levels on Fire and Ice. I think you like one tried it, and I was just saying like DFB has an uncanny ability to just kind of like read a room really well and react. So like the more that you all keep showing up and playing, the easier it is to be like, oh my gosh, that's right, Ghost tends to play like this, and like my boy tends to play like this. Like I don't know, I feel like I'm watching like a way more interesting like sports league, if that makes sense. Like I'm recognizing the players and like
you're
y'all
feeling out our like stat bars where they line up.
Totally, that's how it feels. So yeah, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and it's been really fun. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
I can't wait for the first Sneakbike draft.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea, actually.
I want to thank all the racers as well. I also want to thank all the people out there in the community. We're going to give one last big old thanks to everybody in the Sneak Squad, everyone who's been helping us do this for as long as we've been doing this and continue to do this. If this was something you enjoyed watching, if you've had a good time, if you've laughed at any point, if you've had, if you've been biting your nails along with us at home, you can join too. You do ! Discord. You jump up in that Discord. There's always open calls for people who want to race, people who want to commentate, people, if you want to try your hand at producing and be like the lovely and talented Jen the Human who helped us do producing today, you can do that too. All you got to do is hit ! Discord. You hop up in there. I want to give a quick shout out again to all the racers today. I want to give a shout out to Ghost, Macklemore, and Flowride Alliance, Dr. Fuzzy Boots, Liridian, and my boy for racing with us today. I want to give a shout out to my co-commentator, Dexter Chaco. I want to give a shout out to the person on our social media team, Bears and Beats, who's been helping us today. I want to thank all the mods and all the lovely people out there in Chatland who've been helping us make and have a great day.
Heck yeah. And our producers as well behind the scenes, Mel and Jen. Yeah, just honestly, this is a community effort. It's a collective of people doing something that we all think is pretty cool, and it just wouldn't operate without every single spoke in the wheel, so to speak. And yeah, whether you're watching, whether you're taking an interest in the community behind the scenes, whether you've done work, asset work, whether you've just tweeted about us, made any sort of post on social media, told your friends, whatever, every single aspect of this strengthens and deepens the community. So thank you so much for everything that you do, whether you're in front of the screen or behind it. We appreciate you, we see you, and we wouldn't be Sneakbike without you. So thank you.
You're dang right. And with that, that's going to be all for today's Sneakbike race. Thank you so much for joining us. We want you to join us in our next journey in life. We're going to be raiding a very cool, very talented streamer. We're raiding Ashley Versus. So get your raid messages ready. You can hit !raid. Beautiful. There we go. Raid and Raid 2. Give that a quick copy and get ready to pasta. We're gonna be doing a big old raid on a subathon, birthday subathon. It's gonna be a very fun time. So stick around for that. And thanks so much for hanging out.
Later, y'all. Stay sneaky.
Peace out.